request.
Gentlelady is recognized for unanimous consent.
This is from CNN Politics. DHS officials privately expressed shock at department's immediate response to Minneapolis shooting.
Without objection, that be entered in the record. Mr. Cohen, if I could, Ms. McBath had asked for recognition, very first one, and I started going down, so I'll go to her, and then I'll come to you, Steve. So, gentlelady from Georgia is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wish to just speak on this bill today in my opposition to it. But really, I hope that the world is appalled at this administration's blatant and egregious culture of sadistic violence towards the American people. And today, we're talking about keeping violent offenders off of our street. I hope that the world isn't looking at America thinking that our law enforcement and ICE agents themselves are not violent offenders. But I do digress. I want to talk about the bill as our colleague from New Jersey has expressed. Let's talk about the bill. As Americans struggle to afford groceries, fill their gas tanks, save their family farms, or find jobs that pay a livable wage, this committee is focusing on weaponizing the federal government against bail funds and strengthening the for-profit bail bond industry. H.R. 6260 is yet another example of misguided, unnecessary federal meddling into policies that should be left to the states by the so-called party of states' rights that does nothing to promote public safety. And while this bill is aimed at discouraging or even destroying bail funds, any organization that posts monetary bail, criminal bonds, or federal immigration bail bonds would be subject to the federal insurance fraud statute. That's not just bail funds that would be subject to criminal liability. That's churches, faith groups, nonprofits, and any other community organizations that pool financial resources to protect people from a system that punishes poverty, destabilizes families, and oftentimes coerces guilty pleas. Mr. Chairman, sometimes the most effective tools for justice are local, nimble, and born from the communities that they serve. H.R. 6260 is aimed directly at those very tools, which often serve as a lifeline for thousands of low-income Americans, leaving only a potential windfall for the for-profit commercial bail industry. Proponents of this bill have previously claimed that bail funds operate in the shadows and that their donations come with little to no scrutiny. That is simply untrue. For example, the Bail Project, a 501c3 organization, is subject to regular monitoring and oversight by the IRS. Adding additional nonsensical layers of bureaucracy will not make our community safer, but it will make it harder for organizations like the Bail Project to help people in need. And let's be real, most of them are people of low income, poor people. There are nearly 500,000 people across the country in pretrial detention, meaning they're sitting in jail, who have not been convicted of a crime because they cannot afford to pay for their freedom. Without the help of organizations willing to help by providing free bail assistance, whether designated as a bail fund, church, or other nonprofit, people who cannot afford bail might languish in jail for weeks, months, or even years while they're waiting for trial. They can lose their jobs, their homes, their medical coverage, access to medical care or medication, or even custody of their children. I, too, want to keep violent offenders off the street. Everyone in this chamber wants to keep violent offenders off the street, but this bill will not do that. H.R. 6220 will punish Americans before a conviction is even determined. A charge is not a conviction, meaning there is no determination of guilt. Yet this bill will keep charged Americans jobless. It will keep charged Americans homeless. It will keep charged Americans in poverty. And it has the potential to leave the children of charged, not convicted Americans parentless. I oppose this legislation, and I urge my colleagues to do the same. And I yield the balance of my time.
Gentlelady yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Florida, Ms. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'll begin by acknowledging and appreciating our colleague,